Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick, continuing our discussion of Season 2 of Hannibal. Alonzo Duralde. Joining me again are William Bibbiani from Crave Online and Ryan Turek from ShockTillyouDrop.com. Episode 6, putting us halfway through, Futamono, which is a covered dish or soup. Something, soup, or it can be something baked in clay, as we find in this episode. Whoa, so, you know, as a lot of middle episodes of seasons do, shit goes down.
There's a lot going on.
This is a big episode. This is really moving it forward. For a moment here, I was actually, because this season began with a clip of what appeared to be the end of the season, and now I'm wondering if we're even going to have to wait till the end of the season to see Jack and Hannibal just go at it like monsters. But yeah, this seems like it's really escalating. This is, half of it is just finally seeing Crawford open his eyes a bit, or at least open his eyes to the possibility that maybe Will may or may not be insane, but that doesn't mean he's wrong, and maybe it's worth at least investigating Hannibal.
Sure.
But it's also Hannibal composing his symphony, composing his, and for one,
trying to find his finale.
And you can't tell if he's like, is this going to be his last hurrah, or if this just a very elaborate plan to sort of get Jack to sort of suspect him enough that then there's enough evidence to deny it, and then, but then the finale.
This episode is really, I think, really all about Jack and him coming around, because not only, I love the intro. It's Jack confronting Will in his cage, and he basically comes at Will with, okay, I know you tried to kill Hannibal, but Will turns that conversation around so quickly. He's like, yeah, but let's talk about the Chesapeake Ripper. And then Jack's like, yeah, that's great, you know? So I love that Will just turned that around and took all the blame off of him really quick with really hard evidence that made Jack open his eyes, and then compounded with what Dr. Chilton had to talk to him about.
Oh, I love Chilton
all of that. And
too,
I think this is the first episode where we actually hear someone utter the words Hannibal the Cannibal.
Well,
which is
it's never been a serious concern before. And I love that Chilton coined it.
Yes.
This is a great Chilton episode, because again, like as with a couple episodes ago, Chilton's often kind of the rube or just the jerk or the manipulative bastard. Here again, we were in the very funny situation where Chilton is right, and he's so smug and cowardly about it, but like, you know, just like, I don't want to be on his hit list, I'm just going to go to his party and not eat the food. He's so great. But I love that opening scene with Will, because he's so confident now. He knows, like, unfortunately it cost someone's life, but like now he's like, all doubt in his mind is gone.
This episode is also the first reference to the census taker, by the way.
Last time someone woke me up this early, there was a lot of callbacks. Even in that Will conversation, the dialogue was slightly different, but it's like, why does he remove their organs? No, that is incidental. He's so great.
You know, it's kind of like where the previous episode was really all about a literal noose around Hannibal's neck. This one, the noose is still there, and it's tightening ever so slowly around his neck, and he knows it. He knows that everybody's closing in on him. And how does he deflect it? He throws a damn dinner party.
Well, yeah, he's clearly going for broke. Like he knows his days as a free man are limited, so he's just going to really like.
I don't know if he knows that. I think he thinks that might be where it's going. So this is all like a plan, because the food wasn't human meat.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like Crawford was suspect.
But when you see him going through the Rolodex that much, like clearly there's a lot going on that we're not seeing firsthand.
And the bodies are indeed piling up.
Yes.
But the idea is that, all the people ended up dead, but Hannibal didn't do it.
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence.
And it's also interesting, I mean, until now, I've always seen Hannibal as asexual. You know, just like one of these characters, you know, who does he get turned on by? Who gets turned on by him? And here we know he's all, you know, he beds Dr. Bloom.
Of all the things on this show that have made me go, no!
And it's so frustrating. They'll show us all the violence on the show, but they won't show Hannibal in bed, because I got to tell you, I am fascinated with the idea of how he has sex. Like, is he like, because he knows, I'm sure he knows what to do.
When does the nibbling stop?
He's got the biology going here, but Alana seemed reasonably satisfied. Yeah. You know, was he great?
Well, he also drugged her, I think.
Yeah, Bloom seemed reasonably satisfied, and I like that too. They had to lay in the groundwork early on in the episode where Jack confronts her, and they're talking through the woods with Will's dogs. We get a cameo by Will with Will's dogs. I'm so happy. But she reinforces the fact that she knew Hannibal long before Jack, long before Will, and I was like, okay, something really significant is going to happen between these two, and it turned out that they slept together.
Well, yeah, and they set her up, and this could still be a thing as maybe, you know, his last victim or one of his victims, that she could follow, you know, Eddie Izzard, into his kitchen. I like that Hannibal's first big act on this show after surviving last week's assassination attempt is that incredible the city councilman in the tree with the flowers in his chest.
Gorgeous.
For one thing, I mean, to get a little literary pretentious here, it's a new meaning to Les Fleurs du Mal, but also, it ties into Alana Bloom. So there's a lot going on there.
I love that imagery. It was really gorgeous. And the way that they started presenting that was a motif that they continued throughout the film, which is sort of Hannibal setting the stage. You see the body, and then it's a time lapse or as a cut to later in time, and just you see people starting to fill the stage that he's created for them and playing his part. And you see it again at the dinner table. But one thing,
the party floor and the
But one thing that's really funny is I think the second time someone gets killed by a tree with the varicose vines, which by the way, great pun. The second time is they bring the whole tree into the lab, and only then do they start pruning off the branches. I'm like, how did you get it through the door?
I was thinking about the same thing. I'm like, wow, that must have been quite the effort to get that in there.
None of the flowers fell off or nothing. It's amazing.
I think they have like one of those big garage doors on the side,
for the really big corpses.
Yes, they come into blocks of cement or whatever.
We should talk about Gideon here because I mean a lot happens with this poor guy.
Yes, Gideon's interesting because like at first I don't even know. At first he seemed like sort of just like a side character, just like it'd be kind of funny if someone thought they were the Chesapeake Ripper, and now it's like he's a very big part of the puzzle. He's really important to getting Chilton believing that Hannibal is the Chesapeake Ripper finally. And
what happens to him? I had to like double take because he's sitting at the dining room table and the camera goes under the table just for a split second, and then it comes back up and it dawns on you what is going on. I had to rewind that. I mean, this an episode like this solidifies that this is not a show you put on in the background. This is not a show that you work and do other stuff. You need to pay attention. You need to watch the little minutia every second of the show. It's really
Absolutely.
And it reminded me, obviously, of the scene in Hannibal, the film, where he serves Ray Liotta's brain to him.
Which I feel like I might have missed one, but I feel like this might be the first reference to the Hannibal movie. We've referenced Manhunter a couple of times, referenced Silence of the Lambs all the time. I'm starting to wonder when they're going to run out. But we've never referenced Hannibal, and I don't think we've ever gotten to Hannibal Rising.
I think we're all pretending Hannibal Rising never happened.
Wasn't there some kind of samurai influence in Hannibal Rising? Because we we keep seeing that samurai outfit and stuff like that.
And there is an interesting reference early on in the conversation between Will and Jack where Will talks about sounders, which is the term for a collective of pigs or boars.
I looked it up, but I kept finding the Seattle Sounders or something like that.
I had to get past all the references to the Cicely Tyson movie, but there, a lot of stuff happening in this episode. There was.
I want to talk about the ending of this episode.
Sure,
Like the very ending has a great juxtaposition between Hannibal just getting that final quote of like, ha ha, and yet also it's Jack finding Miriam Lass. Which at first, my first thought, which was I think completely wrong. My first thought was, and now Hannibal has given him back Miriam Lass, and now he has no motivation to keep pursuing him as hard as he was. Then again, Miriam knows who Hannibal is.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So that can't. So maybe clearly his symphony got, or his, whatever he was writing, a few harmonic, whatever is wrong.
The whole thing of the hospital guard is is the exoneration of Will. It's planting all that evidence, all those trophies that he had managed to hang on to all this time, and so Miriam is just sort of the capper on the whole thing. What I was thinking about watching this was, assuming the show gets comes back for future seasons, and we do deal with Hannibal behind bars, I'm wondering if Hannibal will go to the kitchen the way that Will goes fly fishing, just so we can keep those segments. Because I hate to think that we would lose those incredible gourmet moments.
That's actually a really good point. The show would really lose something, I think, if we lost that level of detail.
Also, he gets into art. When he's in prison, he gets into artwork a lot more, because I remember in Silence of the Lambs, they talk about how they pulled all his sketches away. They took him away from him because that was the only pride that he had. So maybe we'll get like this weird shift from food porn to know, sketch porn or something.
Yeah,
you know?
we've seen him sketching before. He's clearly a talented artist. So yeah, that would actually be.
And another
really
Silence of the Lambs nod too is when we find Miriam, it is exactly like what's her face on the well. Yeah, Buffalo Bill.
It's the lotion on its skin. Yeah. It's delightful.
We need a spin-off of Will's dogs. I want to see the story of Will's dogs, like an animated comic book. Yeah, like
I want to see them solve mysteries on their own. Like they learned a lot from watching Will.
What do we do now? Let's go solve the case of Rex down the street's gotten eaten by something.
So yeah, if you weren't already hooked in for the rest of the season, I'd say after this episode, we're all on tenter hooks.
I'm still bummed about Bev.
Bev got it. Someone was bound to go. I'm bummed it was Bev. Bev was finally starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
And because she was kind of like, I felt like they didn't know what to do with her. She was very strong and smart, but Scott Thompson gets to be funny and whimsical, and then the other guy gets to be kind of a jerk, and then she's just smart. So like she was finally like, ooh, give her a subplot, like give her something to do, and now.
No, although dead people do pop up on this show, so we may not have seen the last.
She did pop up.
Right.
Will was there, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did call. I mean, this was called attention here that was very reminiscent of The Cell.
It was. I don't know if you guys mentioned it. You guys said you've never seen.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but I did
the movie The Cell.
Yeah. There's a scene. You never saw The Cell? Okay, so there's a scene in The Cell where she's in Vincent D'Onofrio, the serial killer's mind.
Jennifer Lopez is, of course,
what's her best film?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes. Anyway, but there's a scene where a horse gets like bifurcated like that in multiple pieces, and then split by glass pane, so you can see the insides.
Right. Well, what we did talk about was Damien Hirst, who's the visual artist who actually did that first with the cow, and I think a shark as well. I think.
But it was just nice to see. It's a great visual, man.
Yeah, it is super great.
It's a really great visual. There was so many wonderful details on the show in every way. Like there's this fantastic split screen shot where it's not really. They're trying to hide it as a split screen, where it's Gideon on this side and Will on this side, and then there's a little rat crawling through the wall. That was so adorable because really, what's Will doing? He's ratting out Hannibal, and it was a very clever thing. It's just like we're really worried about is Dr. Chilton. Chilton's like, sorry, what was that? What was that? Oh shit! Yeah.
Why this show is not racking up the schmemmies, I don't know. Like all the technical art direction, costume, cinematography stuff. Yeah, I mean, not even getting into the writing and the acting, the big stuff. Like why those finer details? Because for a television show, this is a really exquisite work of art.
I think part of the problem is that shows like Mad Men and Game of Thrones exist, which have so much like, oh, everyone loves them and everyone like showers them. There's not much room for other
period
stuff.
Always. Although I don't know if the Emmys might separate them. There are some people that do separate period versus contemporary, or some of I think maybe the guilds do. But like at the Oscars, it's always unless you make the Priscilla costumes, period always trumps contemporary.
Absolutely.
I think the show's just had an uphill battle all the way. I mean, really, it's really going
to who refuse to watch it just because of the idea.
Right, or it's on NBC.
Yeah.
I mean, like our readers are still adamant about not watching it because it's on NBC, and I'm like, no, guys, it's the first great NBC show that I'm going to pimp for you.
I did an article with Brian Fuller over at Crave Online. It was a great article. We talked a lot about this season and what's coming and how he's planning the series. But I wrote in my intro that I love this series. I think it's one of the best series on TV. And I got this comment that was saying, you said it's the best series on TV. Well, look at the ratings. Clearly, you're just shilling for some marketing thing. And I was like, no, I actually watched it. Yeah. It's actually legitimately excellent, and it deserves a bigger audience.
That's by that argument, McDonald's is the greatest restaurant in America.
Well, it is.
It is obviously.
And on that note,
things Hannibal does not say.
I would love to see just a scene of Hannibal like just driving past a McDonald's, just going. Like that's all you need.
I think I've seen, I think there was an Olive Garden restaurant on Hannibal once. I thought, who's minding the store? Who thought this was a good idea? Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week.